Dear friends, welcome to the webinar series on social science research organized by the Department of Commerce, Sri Shankara Vidyapeetham College, Valayanchirangara, Perumbavoor, Kerala, India. I am Dr. Santhoshkumar, Professor, School of Management Studies, Cochi University of Science and Technology, Kerala, India. I am engaging a session on Introduction to Social Science Research and Research Problem Formulation. Research is a word often used in everyday speech to describe a multitude of activities. Some may use it for indicating collection of masses of information. Some others deem it as a look into mysterious theories. Some others mean it production of wonderful new products and so on. However, the students or practitioners of academic or practical research must have a clear idea of what the word research really means. They must avoid any misconceptions which might exist owing to its common use in other fields. So what is research? We are surrounded by a number of unanswered questions, unsolved problems, and unproven beliefs. Then if you have a question in your mind, you can inquire why, how, when do things happen, what do events mean, what caused them. All these questions can generate research activities. These questions are often referred to as research problem. Let us see a simple explanation of research. It is a process of systematic inquiry that entails collection of data, documentation of critical information, analysis and interpretation of that data. These are to be done in accordance with suitable methodologies set by specific professional fields and academic disciplines. So, research must be undertaken subject to the accepted methodologies of respective disciplines. In other words, research in pure science, applied science, social science, and so on is done following suitable methodologies set by the respective professional fields and academic disciplines. Now let us see how the Oxford Encyclopedic English Dictionary defines research. It defines research as a systematic investigation into the study of materials, sources, etc. in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. And it is an endeavor to discover new or collate old facts, etc. by scientific study of a subject or by a course of critical investigation. Thus, research is a systematic process to discover new knowledge. It is to be done step by step or in a sequence. Understanding the sequence or research steps and the systematic and scientific way of doing them is the essence of the research process. It is often a lingering question: what is the objective of research? No doubt, it is to extend human knowledge of the physical, biological, or social world beyond what is already known. That is why research is considered as a journey from known to unknown. How do you know the so far known? The authenticity, the credibility and reliability of the existing literature are very important. Where do you search for it? It is very important. What is the value of research? Where does it get value from? Simple. The value of research depends on how well it is designed and implemented. So, how do you design and implement a research? It is its real value. So, what is a research problem? It is a situation or context or object or something that necessitates a scientific inquiry for meaningful understanding. A research problem is there if a gap exists in the given body of knowledge. The gap could be academic and theoretical, necessitating basic research, or real time and action oriented, necessitating applied research. How do you choose a research problem? Shopping a research problem from others is not at all advisable. After choosing a field of study, do a literature review. The literature review will help to discover the relevant materials published in the chosen field of study, strengthens the knowledge level of the researcher, and leads to identification of research gap. A more focused review of literature follows the formulation of research problem. One of the first tasks in research, therefore, is to find a research question, an unresolved controversy, a gap in the knowledge, or an unrequited need within the chosen subject. The world around you is flooded with questions and unresolved problems, but every one of these is not a suitable subject for research. So, what features should you like for a suitable research problem is important. Let us see the leads to a suitable research problem. 1. It should be of great interest to you. You will have to spend many months investigating for a problem. A lively interest in the subject will be an invaluable incentive to persevere. The problem should be significant. It is not worth time and effort investigating a trivial or less important problem or repeating the work which has already been done elsewhere. It should be delineated. You can carve a wide field only superficially, and the more you restrict the field, the more detailed the study can be. Precision in the study is important. You should also consider the cost of necessary travel and other expenses. Consider the time you have to complete the work and the depth to which the problem will be addressed. Then you should be able to obtain the information required. You cannot carry out research if you fail to collect the relevant information needed to tackle your problem. Therefore, getting relevant information is very important. You should be able to draw conclusions related to the problem. The point of asking a question is to find an answer. The problem should be one to which the research can offer some solution, or at least the elimination of some false solutions. It is not easy to decide on and define a research problem. You will not be expected to do it fast. The important thing is to know what are you looking for and to explore your subject for suitable possibilities. Problem identification and problem formulation cannot be separated. Initially, it is useful to define a problem area within the general body of knowledge which interests you rather than defining a specific research problem. That may be, for example, the economic aspects of COVID-19, housing and homelessness, corporate leverage decisions, stock market investments, and so on. Your aim should be to subsequently narrow down the scope of the problem until it becomes a highly specific research problem. This narrowing process will require a lot of background reading in order to discover what has been written about the subject already, what research has been carried out, where further works need to be done, and where controversial issues still remains. The research process starts with an initial literature review, essential for defining a problem area before defining a research problem. The objective of initial literature review is to discover relevant materials published in the chosen field of study and to search for a suitable problem area. Two kinds of literature should be reviewed. The first is conceptual literature. This is written by authorities on the subject you have in mind. It can be in the form of opinions, ideas, theories, or experiences and published in the form of books, articles, and papers. The second is research literature, which gives account of results of research which has been undertaken in the subject, available in the form of papers and reports. This will provide you with an understanding of the principal issues and problems or controversies and the opportunity to select a problem area within the frame of reference. Within this problem area, it is important that you familiarize yourself with those aspects which have already been well established by previous research and are generally accepted as true. These truths need no further proof, and your research problem simply uses them. After choosing the problem area and defining it, the next step is to define the research problem more closely so that it becomes a specific research problem with all the characteristics required. This stage requires an inquiring mind, an eye for inconsistencies and inadequacies in the current theory, and a measure of imagination. It is often useful in identifying a specific problem by posing simple questions. Such questions can provide a starting point for the formulation of a specific research problem. At this stage, the nature of the question will give some indication of the type of research which could be appropriate for the subject. Will it be a historical study or a descriptive inquiry, an analysis of correlation, or an experimental exercise, or a combination of more than one of these? When you clear the simple questions by careful definitions your problem get defined. Then break the problem down into short sentences. It is a useful trick to put each sentence on a separate slip of paper so that they can be put into order in different sequences. When the best logical progression from sentence to sentence is achieved, the statement can be edited into a more elegant form. Your research problem is defined. So, posing questions to the defined problem area, careful answering of those questions, and converting them into sentences is the crux of research problem definition. The above approach of problem formulation can be called funneling approach. It is a process of narrowing down possible ideas into a specific research question or purpose. This approach helps you to think about how you can transform the big picture or real world problem into a manageable research project. Most research problems are difficult or even impossible to solve without breaking them down into smaller problems. The short sentences devised during the problem formulation period can give a clue to the presence of subproblems. This will answer questions like, does one aspect have to be researched before another aspect can be begun? Thus, our discussion as part of the webinar ends here. Thank you for patient watching. Wish you all a great future ahead.